Hello guys and welcome to today's video, and today I want to talk about should supply drops return in Black Ops 6 and just Call of Duty in general. Now there is a tweet that went out a few days ago from a different game that is doing something with supply drops that did have them before and is bringing them back. So I want to talk about that and see if there is a reality and a possibility and whether or not the player base actually feels the same way about this. I want you guys to let me know down below. But do you agree? Do you think supply drops should return in Call of Duty, maybe even Black Ops 6? I know this is very unlikely. I don't think this is a route that Activision will ever go down, but who knows? We've seen them steal things from other companies before, and if this company pulls it off and makes supply drops work in their game, who knows? We might see supply drops back in Call of Duty and hopefully, obviously, be free. Now, we'll talk about that in a second, but on your screen right now is a tweet that says Overwatch 2 is bringing back loot boxes, which was of course Overwatch's 2 version of supply drops, allowing players to earn them via playing the game. Now it does say or by purchasing them. They will not be purchasable. Overwatch 2 supply drops or loot boxes that are coming back to Overwatch will not be purchasable. They are earnable either through playtime or actual the battle pass itself. So they are completely free this time around in Overwatch 2. And that made me think of something interesting. It made me think, is there a reality? Is there a way that this is something the system could come back to Call of Duty if it was done correctly? Because back in the day, of course, supply drops, loot boxes were available in, let's say, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, Infinite Warfare, World War II. There were so many different games that incorporate this style, and I think Advanced Warfare started as well. But they were all monetized, right? You could pay for supply drops, and the annoying thing with it was random, and there was things like pay to win weapons sometimes, especially in Advanced Warfare with these stat changer weapons. That was terrible. Like, that really affected the gameplay, and a lot of people were very upset by that, and I think a lot of people continue to be upset by that. And that even happened in Black Ops 4, where they had them out of supply drops, then put them back in and made it so you had to pay for them to get them and get all these new weapons and stuff. Hopefully, my idea of this would be to have them completely free in the same way that Overwatch 2 does. And again, if Overwatch 2 makes a success of this, and this does make people, say, play the game more and entice them to play Overwatch, etc., who knows, right? Activision likes to take ideas from other companies, and if they see this as a success in Overwatch 2, maybe we could see supply drops returning Call of Duty, but done correctly this time around. And by correctly, I mean no payment at all. We do not pay for supply drops at 2, because I think as well, especially with Black Ops 6, we do have an issue where content can be a little bit dry in this game, right? When you log on every day, what is there actually to do? Unless there's a new event, and most of these events don't take that long to finish, to be honest, if you seriously grind for them, you run out of stuff to play and use and content at the moment. You know, I've said about at the moment that the content they're even bringing to the game is quite useless, such as weapon mods, etc. They're not very useful, they're very underpowered, so it makes them quite pointless to get. But if they had supply drops in the game, and let's say you earn them, I don't know, every 30 minutes of game time, or every single match you played, maybe even incorporate that once you finish the battle pass, at the end of the battle pass, you just get a supply drop like you would as if you completed a battle pass tier. But you guys let me know down below, do you agree? Do you disagree? Would you like to see supply drops back in a Call of Duty, maybe even in Black Ops 6? Again, I wouldn't see it happening in Black Ops 6, but possibly in the future without any monetization. And of course, no pay-to-win weapons and that. They could have things like weapon skins, blueprints, keychains for your guns or whatever, emotes. There's so many things they could do to keep the content fresh, and you can't tell me they couldn't possibly make enough items, especially with AI. Let's talk about AI, of course. Activision likes to use AI. They would be able to make and use AI to make and create all this content very easily and put it into supply drops and allow us as players to play the game and feel like we're rewarded for playing the game. Even if we, let's say, have a bad game and we lose, but we've played 30 minutes of game time, you get a supply drop, you open it, and you get your favorite emote that's really cool, or you get a weapon blueprint that actually looks really nice. And of course, with these weapon blueprints, I would be saying as well to not have any changes to iron sights and stuff, because that would of course be pay to, well, I say pay to win, it wouldn't be pay to win, because we'd of course would want these supply drops to be completely free. But I think people hated the randomness of supply drops as well, that there was something that you wanted, and maybe like I said, if it was a weapon or something, it was very, very hard to get. That's one of the things that people hated. But I do like that sense of randomness. It's just the monetization of it made it more annoying, and when it was pay to win, it was kind of the two things that went hand in hand to kind of ruin supply drops and make them very hated in Call of Duty. But you guys let me know down below, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you think there's a better way even? Let me know down below. Do you think there's an even better way of what I'm saying of putting supply drops in Call of Duty? Do you think there's a way that supply drops can work in Call of Duty, or do you completely disagree and just want to see the system never happen again in a Call of Duty game? Let me know down below. But I would personally love to see. I have an issue at the moment with just grinding Black Ops 6, getting content, you know, like trying to play and use all the new stuff in the game. And I get very bored of it very, very quickly. And then I'm playing the game, and I do like playing the game. Like, I think the gameplay itself is nice, and, you know, it keeps me playing the game because I do like the gameplay. But outside of the gameplay, I don't feel like I'm being rewarded with much. Yes, I'm getting stuff through the Battle Pass still, so eventually I'm getting some new stuff to play with. But once all that stuff dries out, you know, maybe I can't earn any more camos, maybe I can't do this, can't do that. Then what? What do I do? What do I get? I have to wait for the next event. I have to wait for the next, season. I have to wait for all these things to happen whilst playing the game. And I think at the moment, Call of Duty is kind of being a bit lazy, because we saw with MW3 how much content can be put into the game, how much great content can be put into the game every single week, every single day. And supply drops would cure that issue, because in Black Ops 6, I feel like we've fallen so far away from what MW3 did when it came to content. You know, we had blueprints, we had skins, we had everything you could think of coming out every single week. You know, you could even do it where, like, there's a challenge every day that would earn you a supply drop, right? We've got daily and weekly challenges, and what's the real use of them? They don't get you any battle pass tiers. They just get you XP, which for most people at the moment is obviously going to be quite useful. We're all leveling up, we're all trying to get level 1000, but eventually some of us are going to play the game enough to get to level 1000. And then what do you do with that XP? You can't do anything with it. You can't cash it in for anything. You just get XP even though you're level 1000. So it's not very useful. So I would say make the daily challenges and weekly challenges even tie into supply drops, and allow it that, let's say you get 5 melee kills, you get a supply drop. You get 10 headshots in a game, you get a supply drop. Do something with the daily and weekly challenges. It'll make them more useful. How many, like, you guys let me know down below, do you even look at your daily and weekly challenges anymore? Do you just get whatever you complete them based off of if it's lucky and you just happen to complete the challenges? Because I personally don't look at the challenges anymore. I've never looked at them. I don't care about them. I'm not bothered about the XP. I just play the game and do what I want to do with the game. But I think this could make even daily and weekly challenges more, you know, useful, make them so that people actually would like to do them. Because at the moment, it's just a waste of time, right? It's just a waste of it even being there, unless you're someone who's ridiculously trying to grind the game and get as much XP as possible every single day. Then sure, there is a bit of value to it. But I think supply drops coming back would make a big difference. So that's kind of my overall takeaway from this, is that I want to see what Overwatch 2 does this. I want to see how popular this is. This was even suggested as a thing. This was something the players wanted for Overwatch 2. And I kind of want to see whether or not you guys agree or disagree. I want to see if the COD community is kind of in that limbo. Would you want to see supply drops return in a Call of Duty game? Do you think there's a place for them in a Call of Duty game? Or do you think you'd be scared of Activision eventually monetizing that practice? Let's say they did bring supply drops back, make them free, and they realized that people like them. Do you think Activision would eventually just make it so people could pay for supply drops? You guys let me know down below. But I think there is a reality that this can come back. I think this would be an awesome thing to do as well. I'd like to see more content in the game. That's more than anything. I want to see supply drops in Call of Duty so that we can have more content and have that feeling that you're getting rewarded for playing every single day, every single game, and not just waiting for your battle pass tier to go up, not just waiting for a brand new event where you have to do some crazy challenge to get a weapon, and just give you something to grind for. And also make things, you know, kind of feel obscure and rare. Like, obviously there'll be stuff that is harder to get in supply drops, but I like that sense of, you know, getting something really rare. But it was just annoying when people were paying for it, and obviously some of it was pay to win. So that's kind of my takeaways from that. But you guys let me know down below, do you think supply drops could make its way back into Call of Duty? Let me know down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe notifications on. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.